What's up? This is Flay, and you're watching AMBY.
Hey everyone, it's Leisha from AMBY, and I would like to welcome you to our interview with Flay.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm awesome. Just thank you so much for joining us once again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. So you are now touring North America, playing sold-out show after sold-out show. How are you feeling right now?
Feeling great. I think especially, I've really kind of built this project on the road. So, seeing people come out in bigger numbers to shows is kind of like the best feeling there is. So yeah, it's been great. It's been really good.
You also shared how you've been getting a lot of cool fan art on this tour.
Yeah. I think the spirit of this last EP and I think this tour has really been about, I think, creating a sense of community and creating like an honest environment and a safe space to be honest.
Absolutely.
And so I feel like as just a byproduct of that, I've been getting a lot of really cool art that people have been doing, and like all kinds of things, like light fixtures, like it's truly like all over
light fixtures.
Yeah, like these like lighting design things, like it's really cool. Aside from just kind of paintings and more visual art, traditional.
Oh, that's awesome.
In that sense. Yeah.
Well, when this tour initially kicked off, you shared this thing saying how you had a dream that you met Amy Schumer in jail.
I did. Yeah.
You did. So tell me a little bit more about that dream, because that just felt so random to me.
That's kind of the dream. I
Yeah.
don't remember that much about it. It was like one of those things where how like a little thing will like remind you of the dream, you'll forget it.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Like I saw something and I think I had been watching an episode of her show on Comedy Central or something.
Okay.
And that's what
triggered it,
that
or
put
sparked
it in
the
my
memory.
mind. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's also an exciting time because outside of this tour, the Crush Me EP is officially out.
Yes.
I'm just really digging Blood in the Cut. I feel like it's the perfect breakup anthem, and apparently it only took you 20 minutes to figure out the riff and lyrics.
Yeah, well, that's how distressed I was. I think for me, songs usually kind of evolve in one of two ways. The first is just like this outpouring, this like outburst sort of a creative thing, or it's like weeks,
Okay.
of kind of tinkering with things and working on lyric and melody, and this was one of those songs that just like
Came very naturally and
yeah
simply.
just came really quickly, and I forgot about it, to be honest. And then the producer that I've been working on a lot of stuff with for this EP and then also for the full length, he was like, we should like finish this, we should make this a song, and we did. So I wrote it in California, but we finished it and I recorded it in Nashville.
I'm also really enjoying Hollywood Forever. It's probably my favorite song on the EP.
Thank you. I really like that one too.
Just lyrically, I feel it's very empowering, and a lot of people do struggle with image a lot of the time, like that being me myself, a lot of people that I know. So the fact that you're just putting it out there, I feel it's a very comforting song. So was that inspired by actually moving to LA and the people that were surrounding you, or how did that start off?
Well, that was a song that was kind of in a certain way was brewing for a little bit. I moved to Los Angeles like about 7 months ago, and I've spent a lot of time there just for work, but I live there now, and I've just been very fixated on this idea recently of how often in this modern time we are confronted with our own image and how we like shape that. Like I met somebody the other day who was talking to me about Facetune or something, some app where you can like basically Photoshop your face and like if you look too big you go like this and like you're like little, like something crazy.
Yeah.
And I think it's such a strange, it's a peculiar time to be alive for that reason. Like I've been saying it, but I think I've looked at more pictures of my face in the last 2 months than my mom has in her life.
Like, just between all the press photos and the photos people are sending you, and like, you can't avoid it.
It doesn't
really
matter. Even if I weren't doing music, like just selfies, photos with friends, like shit on Instagram, like all that. It's just, anyway, that aside. So I've been thinking about it. Sorry, it's a long answer. I've been thinking a lot about that and how that can be kind of detrimental in a lot of ways. And I think it affects us and we might not be aware of it totally. So I've been thinking about that, and then I was driving in LA down Santa Monica, and there's a cemetery called Hollywood Forever, which is like a really famous cemetery in Los Angeles, and they do movie screenings there and all this stuff. And we actually had the EP release party there.
Oh, it's wicked.
They have like a chapel there. It's really cool. But I was like, man, that's a good name for a song. Maybe that'll be the name of this song.
Yeah.
And then I sort of had this idea, and I did a voice memo, and then I sent it to JT, the producer I've been working with. I was like, we got to do this in Nashville. And then I wrote it once I got out there. But yeah, I felt like I was able to take a feeling that had been sort of like growing within me and make it into a song. So that was like a good feeling.
I love that.
Yeah.
For the EP, there's also the Crush Me book.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't able to find the origin of it, though. Is it something you leave at the merch table and people can write in it? How did that whole thing begin?
Exactly.
Okay.
I had sort of had this idea, you know, because the spirit of the EP is like taking feelings of, you know, like Hollywood Forever is a good example, taking a feeling of insecurity or uncertainty, vulnerability, and then making something with that. And I think as soon as you make anything with it, even if it's a sad thing, it's powerful. It's an act of sort of like, it's an affirmation of yourself and your own abilities. And so I thought it would be interesting and maybe really cool to have a book at the merch booth, just totally anonymous, where you can write anything. It could be long, short, you know, what, like no rules.
Yeah.
And but if you want to write something, you know, that's real or something you haven't shared with anyone, it's a place to do that like safely. And I read it every night after the show, and I wasn't sure, you know, if people would do it.
Yeah,
I don't know. You never
contribute.
know. But like it was crazy. People like
You've
really,
been sharing some touching stuff.
yeah, really. And I haven't posted any of the like really long stuff because it's sort of not suitable for like Instagram in a way, you know, which is horrible to even say. But it's really, I mean, people. It's just a reminder to me of, and I know this, but I think it's good to be reminded of it, that like everybody is dealing with like great joy, great loss, you know, whatever it is, all at the same time. And like at a show, people come together and that's sort of like washed away for a little bit, and it's kind of a beautiful thing, actually.
I was just about to say that. It's such a beautiful thing to put together.
Yeah, so it's been really cool. I'm not sure what we're gonna do with it at the end. We actually just filled up the first book.
Wow, how big's the book?
It's pretty big. It's like
Wow.
that big. Yeah.
Congrats. That's incredible. Just the fact that people are able, just through your music, to write stuff like that, very personal things, I find that's incredible.
I think it's great. You know, for me, I had a realization a little bit ago, I mean, probably a couple years ago, that the kind of artist I wanted to be was just an honest one, you know, regardless of genre, because I think I've done stuff, and even on like, you know, I'm finishing up this full-length record, like there's stuff that's like super kind of weirdo, like rap, but it's still really vulnerable and honest, and I think that can coexist alongside Blood in the Cut, for instance, because there's that voice of sort of like confessional, I don't know, sort of like that transparent voice or something.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned the full length, because we're all very excited for that to come out.
Yeah.
But you shared how you were doing a lot of stuff on a farm, and there was a lot
Yeah.
of peeing outside. So tell me
There was.
about the experience in doing that.
Yeah, so the producer that I've been working with, his name is JT Daly, and he's the lead singer of a band called Paper Route.
Okay.
Actually, they're on tour at the moment. I don't know if they're coming to Toronto, but in any case, his friend, and who's now a buddy of mine, is also a musician who built this amazing studio like 30 minutes outside of Nashville. And when we were first starting to work together, he offered it up to us because no one was using it. And it wasn't fully built. Like, it was fully built except there was no plumbing.
Okay.
So there's no bathroom. So, like, JT and I knew each other a little bit, but not that well.
Yeah.
And it was like this immediate, like, breakdown of barriers, you know, because you're like, you just, like, peed outside. You know, it's just, there's something sort of...
Going back to vulnerability, really.
Exactly. And that, honestly, that probably had, like, something to do with the songs and how they turned out. But, yeah, it's just a great space. I mean, I think for me at this point, it's one of those places that's just... It's creatively inspiring, and it's like the minute I walk in the door, I'm like, I want to make things, and you know, it's really great to find places like that, because it can be hard to find those sorts of spaces, you know, where it's just like it's
you can
that
get
energy.
in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I liked coming across your Twitter description. It's changed over the past, I think it's the past couple of months, but now it's bad at Jenga.
That's actually been it for like...
Has it been it for forever?
I think
I must not have noticed it the first time.
Yeah.
As you mentioned before, we met on the street the last time.
We did meet on the street.
I must not have noticed it. But out of all things you could have put as a Twitter description, why bad at Jenga?
Well, I think I did it when I first started Twitter, and I like no one followed me. I think it was, I am bad at Jenga. It actually may have come off the heels of there's a bar. It's actually a venue, but a bar in Brooklyn that I lived nearby that has Jenga, and people would always like be drinking and playing it, and I was bad. Like, I'm not good at Jenga. I'm not really good at sort of like engineering things.
All right.
So whatever. It's okay. Can't be good at everything.
What are some games or activities you'd say you're really good at? Like things you'd almost be welcome to people challenging you to.
Boggle. Like
Okay.
word games.
Yeah.
That's a good thing for me. Like spatial arrangement games, not good, like Jenga.
Yeah.
But any type of word game, crossword puzzle, math puzzle kind of thing, those I'm pretty good at. Trivia games I'm pretty good at. Yeah, more like left side brain games. Although, math, I'm pretty good at math, but I'm not, like, strategy games, like Risk, even, like, Monopoly. I can't even deal with those games. Like, I hate them.
Okay.
So don't make me play them.
Well, let's wrap things up. I want to bring it back to the fans. Anything you want to leave with all of them will be viewing?
No, just thank you guys for coming out to the shows and supporting, and we're, Blood on the Cusp been doing pretty well in Canada and trying to get back here, like just doing some proper shows all across the country soon. So, yeah, stay tuned.
Well, just congrats on the sold out shows, the EP, the forthcoming full length. We're very excited about it. Thanks for chatting.
Yeah, thank you.
It's my pleasure. And remember, to everybody viewing, you can visit us at musicblogya.com for all exclusive interviews, features, videos, and so much more with your favorite artists. See you next time.